It's time for the SVU after show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We have so much to talk about. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the SVU after show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm trying to retweet. Welcome. I'm so excited to be back after such a long hiatus. This is SVU Season 18, Episode 13, Jeans. I am your host, Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by Lauren Salaun.
Hello, everybody. Lauren Salaun here. So happy to be back. We've been on a break for way too long.
Yeah.
And y'all can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun.
You can also tweet at me at Yael Tygiel, YAELTYGIEL. And Lauren is in the chat with everyone who's live.
I know. You guys are so... we were talking before we went live in here, and I love how you guys are, like, all chatting before we go live. Like, there's, like, so much conversation happening already. I love it.
It's wonderful. Before we jump into Season 18, Episode 13, Jeans, I want to remind everyone that sometimes this show... SVU is a very serious show and talks about very serious topics. We, on the other hand, talk about serious topics in a terrible way. So, this is your content warning. If this is not for you, we apologize. If you need it, we have a hotline for you.
We do. And it's 1-800-656-HOPE. That's the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. Again, that number is 1-800-656-4673.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
So if you need that, that's for you. Now we're going to say terrible things. This episode...
You guys.
Okay, so it starts off and I'm going... I'm like that we're back to season 1 through 13 openings where we're meeting the victim and the rapist at the time and seeing it happen. I'm glad we're back to that, not dealing with Benson and her baby.
Yeah.
And so I was like, great, we're starting there. And then once she was raped, I went, okay, so we know who it is. We know it's not Rodney.
No, duh.
And I went, well, then this better he better die and there better be some case law and whatever.
Right. I was really hoping, I'm like, it can't be that one other guy that we you know, as I'm watching it, I'm like, well, who's the other character we've seen so far? Him. It's gonna be him. And I'm like, but it can't be. Come on, is it really? Like, this is so easy that it's gonna be him. And I'm like, no, it's not going to. They're gonna surprise us a little. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Well, then when he introduced us to the river rapist and he had all the facts, I was expecting to be when he was like, they were like, reveal his name, and I thought he was gonna go, me. I was like,
right?
What?
I kind of did too, actually. Okay, but here's the thing. This whole episode annoyed me because when they pulled out the, when he confesses and he's like, oh, it's in my genes, this whole angle, I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. And I think I even said, I said this is going to be more about the court situation and legal stuff than finding the guy, obviously, because we have the guy. So it's going to be more about, the intricacies of that, and, we're going to have a lot of courtroom interesting stuff. And then they went in this whole other stupid direction. I'm like, you gave us, a really weird angle to go with, but instead we're, going to chase this other guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. There were parts that I loved and parts that I hated. I think we're in season 18. We are in season 18. This is not the first time.
Baby Noah could have been born and become an adult.
Yes.
This entire show.
Absolutely. Stabler had a child who's now in school is how long this show's been going. In the middle of the show, had a child that is now in school, maybe going to middle school at this point. I'm trying to think how old baby Eli is. Anyway, we have had so many episodes about the rape gene. This is not the first episode. Yeah. So to have Liv again be like, but what if? But what if it's
Am
real?
I a rapist?
Yeah. So many episodes have already covered this. And I was too exhausted I was frustrated to even go, here are the episode numbers. There have been at least 3.
You guys, I hate, I feel like I'm not allowed to say this, but I feel like it's just a lazy season.
There have been some episodes that were fantastic and the rest have been meh.
Yeah.
I'm with you on it. But I liked this idea of a support group that is an unsanctioned support group for people trying to not do it. It reminds me of the episode where the kid came in and was like, listen, I have feelings for my little brother. And he didn't rape him. And they were like, we don't know how to help this kid because he's afraid of what he's going to do. that was interesting. This could have been.
Yeah. I just felt like there was so much potential to take it in that direction more, and even focus more on like the support group and less on like what is his name?
Sam, the rapist.
Yeah.
The actual rapist.
Yes.
I will tell you what I love. So when it comes to law, I really love the term. I like hate the idea, but I love the term of the fruit of the poisonous tree. It is like my favorite law term. Where like if they get something and because that something led to all this other stuff, that other stuff is no longer usable if that first thing gets thrown out. It's like a terrible concept.
Oh, it sucks.
But it's such a great name.
The fruit of the
poisonous tree. Because it makes sense. It's a visual that explains exactly why you can't use it. And I think that's so great because this episode was like, everything here happens to be fruit. Because everything's here
All
fruit.
of these rapists are fruit.
Yes. All of the confessions were fruit. And the whole idea that this support group was a clergy congregant clause, like was part of that. I love when Barbara goes, you mean these perverts sitting around in a rug warehouse?
I did really like when we were in the courtroom and he's like, so do you get paid for this? So your full income comes from being a
security guard.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a hobby. Like I felt like that was just such like a stab in the heart for the priest. Like, oh, you're not like doing this noble thing. So this is a hobby.
I had an accountant say that to me once. I was like, no, this is this thing that I do. And she went, how many years have you been doing that? A few. And do you get paid? No, it's a hobby.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah, it's unfair, but it's true.
It's true.
So great. It also reminded me when they discovered what church he is affiliated with.
Yes.
Something.com. I also, just so everyone knows, I am also a reverend. Fun fact.
Let's marry somebody right now.
I can legally officiate weddings in California.
Does anyone want to get married right here, right now?
I am actually a reverend at multiple churches.
Wow.
Because I wanted to make sure it stuck, so I registered. And there is no studying. I don't know what kind of BS church
you
had to
pay.
Not even. You
like
literally put in your
not
even name, birth date, address.
You have to pay something.
No, only if you want the certification. You don't need the certification in California. I am legally a reverend. You're welcome.
Wow, this is exciting.
So watching this, I went, I could take people's confession. I could hear people tell me secrets and then not have to testify. Is what I just learned from SVU.
Yeah, I didn't really realize like that was a thing.
Well, because
you don't have to.
No, like so the people who can keep your secrets are doctors, lawyers, and clergy. Legally, did you not?
I guess I didn't know that the priest was one of them.
That's how confession works. That's how.
No, I know. I get that.
I have
but
like
was
15 episodes of
rule.
SVU that I'm going to send you to watch again because
like,
you
I
seem to have
understand.
forgotten about all of the times that they kept the secrets of the priests who were raping children. It was an episode with Stabler. I got this.
Rule. You know, like you just don't because it's not cool.
No, so in the
Like
episode with Stabler,
by the law.
The priests at the school, they all confessed to each other so that no one could testify and that would absolve their sins. Such a good episode. I want to watch that episode again, not this one. Ooh, dig. So...
Ooh, did you hear that, SVU?
I want you to feel that burn. We will talk about Barisi, so calm yourselves, people. Yeah. But I want to talk about this Will and Benson moment where he's on the edge of the building.
The kid, yeah.
The kid, Will. Will, this good kid. She points out, it repulses you because you're not a rapist. I don't understand how he's been going to these meetings and
he's never raped anyone.
And he's never wanted to. And like... He's afraid that he will want to, but when he hears other people's stories, it doesn't appeal to him.
Yeah, so it's like, why are you here then?
Yeah.
How'd you get into this?
How did they... It's someone in this group told him, your father's a rapist, therefore you got to go to these groups.
Yeah.
And he's a dumb kid who went, okay. So when Benson comes out and gives this big old speech... about her daddy. I was like, duh. And this was like the defining moment where Carisi finds out, but they didn't play that at all.
No.
And we have that great conversation with her therapist, played by Bill Irwin. So we have complained a lot about how her therapist feels like a rapist.
It's creepy. And as I'm watching it and looking at his like red little eyes, I was like,
So
when is he gonna be in a case?
so
Sorry.
I feel terrible because Bill Irwin is also on Legion, which is another show that I do the after show for here at AfterBuzz, and he is amazing on that show. And there is this other relationship there with a younger woman, and it comes off as very sweet and not creepy at all, which just tells you what an amazing actor he is, but I don't understand why he's doing it here.
Well, I think he plays like kind of weird characters.
Yeah, but on Legion, he's in a relationship that could feel creepy, yet it doesn't.
Yeah.
And here he's supposed to be trustworthy, but he feels creepy.
Well, I think because we like anybody that's not the core team, you're like, are you a rapist? Are you a murderer?
Somebody asked me if SVU has turned me into a paranoid person where I assume everyone's a rapist. And I went, not everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it just makes us have conversations like before we went on air, which I don't think we should repeat.
No, we're not going to.
Sorry.
I want to ask you what you think about this rapist support group before it like turned into the mess that it turned into. The idea of a rapist support group.
See, it's tricky because on the one hand, I'm like, oh, good for these rapists trying to like
Not
rape.
Yeah.
But then, I'm sorry, you don't have a rape, like the rape gene thing is baloney.
Right. Yes.
So it's really, you just need like therapy and
Right.
to stop and to also like go to prison.
But if they're not raping, then they just need therapy.
Yeah, then I get, then it's like a more of a like sexual addiction or
Sure.
support group, you know?
Yeah. It reminds me of when Stabler went undercover in one of my favorite episodes called Demon with Robert Patrick, I believe was his name, the guy from Terminator, where Stabler goes undercover as a man named Mac, who it's one of my favorites. I've seen it a bunch of times. And he's going to these rapist support groups or support group. And that was court mandated because they were all convicted felons.
Yeah.
So the idea that these people got together and said, we needed help, let's do this and help each other. And the Reverend, who is also a security guard at Bunny's, was like, I'm going to help you.
Felt bad for him.
Why?
I don't know why, because I felt like he's trying to do the right thing, kind of.
Nah.
In a twisted way.
Well, I guess he means well. I just don't
Yeah.
like him.
No, I don't like him, but... And I also felt like really embarrassed for him.
It was the other lawyer who brought him up.
Yeah.
Was it Barbara's fault that he had to tear him down?
No, it isn't.
But he tore him down so good. I really like that when they lose, Barbara points out that like the judge was nervous because religious freedom was on the line and free speech was on the line, and I think anytime that happens, a judge gets nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about baby Noah.
Okay. He seems so much older than I feel like he should be.
You know, I was thinking about
I was like, that kid is a kid, not baby Noah anymore.
Well, yeah, he's like a toddler.
He felt like
higher
he was
than
like
a toddler.
4
Yeah,
or
yeah.
5.
I don't know, how old is that? Is that not a toddler?
I don't know. I think after 3, you're not a toddler.
Girl, I don't know how babies work. Here's what I know. I mean, I do, but
Tell us.
but this whole situation with like Benson panicking that he's going to be a rapist because his dad was a douchebag, but like he doesn't know his dad.
Yeah.
He's never met his dad. His dad has nothing to do with him. So I don't think that's a fear. And like every rapist, well, I want to say almost every rapist we've met, like there was a reason. There was an issue. There was, aside from like the sociopaths, you know, like their mom beat them. Their mom left them. Their mom was a drug addict. Their mom was a hooker. Like they always have a mommy issue.
Right.
And she's there for him. And unless he turns into a sociopath, which would be awesome,
Oh my gosh.
the
They wouldn't
best
do that. They would
twist
not do that.
ever. I was actually thinking at the end of the episode when she's watching him sleep and she says goodnight, I was like, if he turns out to be a rapist, that would be amazing.
That would be such a heartbreaking way to take the show. Like, that would be so sad.
This show needs a change, and that would be a great one.
We'd have to get through a lot of seasons to get to that point.
No, we just have to have a time jump to him being a teenager. He only has to be like 10. We've had 10-year-old rapists.
Oh my gosh.
What do you got? So only 5 more years, guys.
What do you
5
got?
more years.
5 more years, and then we've got this whole new storyline. SVU writers, stay tuned.
You're welcome.
Yeah, 5-year plan.
No, but what do you have in the chat? Something made you laugh.
Yeah, when you said, let's talk about baby Noah, Janelle said, no, Yael, let's not.
Thank you. All right. Anything else you want to talk about Baby Noah? Because I'm done with him.
Not really. I mean, just some of the comments, like, you know, his dad was a dick, but damn, if that was a deciding factor, we'd all be screwed. Ashley. Jay Ruiz, it is more of a fear that he's going to be bad if he's not disciplined properly.
That's true.
Yeah, his nature. I just always feel like Liv in the Baby Noah scenes, like I'm like, I don't feel like she's his mom.
She's like a babysitter
Ever.
who really cares.
She's like the
makes
aunt
sure
that
that
had
he
to adopt
sleeps.
him
Yeah.
because his parents died. Like, that's what I feel like it is. More, and that's not saying like when you adopt children, like it's not like it's always gonna seem like they're not yours. Like, I know plenty of people who adopt their kids and it's like seamless. Like, you don't even think twice about it. But like, she feels very much like she's not
like
his
she
mom.
didn't want this. When he was a baby, it felt more right because we'd see her feeding him and like holding him and like all this stuff. But now that he is a child and not he's child Noah, that it feels very much like she's not there. He has a babysitter, spends more time with him, and all she does is worry.
All she does is worry, and then when they do have play dates, she's like in uniform and has a gun on, like every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about Baby Noah much more.
He was there. You're welcome, people.
Yeah.
I talked about it. Okay.
Beautiful.
I want to take a moment before we get to the Barisi, which we all want
my
to talk
gosh.
about.
Oh
I like that we
my
have a whole
gosh.
segment for it today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. We know there was a ridiculous hiatus. We don't know why. I assume it was to bring in Chicago justice. Fine, Dick Wolf. Fine. But we are so excited to be back. It's been so long. It's only episode 13 of the season, and we have so much
know.
more to go. I'm so excited, especially because in this hiatus, I've been watching a lot of marathons. There was like a Thursday and then a Friday, and then on a different channel it was on Saturday, and then back to that first channel was on Sunday, and I was so happy. Anyway, that was off topic. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you for everyone who's listening on iTunes. We ask you to do a very simple thing. Make sure you've subscribed so you don't miss a single episode, especially with a season that doesn't make sense. We never know when there's a new episode. We just wait for a schedule. Please rate, review. That means if you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. I ask, though, if you give us 4 stars, to please bang on the keyboard a bit and tell us what it is that you don't like. Is it Baby Noah? Because you'd be correct. So if you bang on the keyboard and put some emojis or even just write words in other languages, because we have done it, into the ratings and reviews. Oh, that's keyboard
someone's
banging.
on the keyboard.
I love it.
Hey.
If you do that on iTunes, we will read it. And by we, I mean Lauren. We'll read it live on the air just for you. That is our gift. So thank you. But before you do that, oh, wow. Live studio audience. Thank you. Before we read that, do you want to give some shout outs to people in the chat?
Yeah, in the chat, you guys, we've got so much conversation going on. Let's see, I'm going to scroll down. There's tons of people. Ariadne, Ryan Ninja Steel, Ashley, Jay Ruiz, Lil Brianna XOX, which I always want to say Librarian Ox.
Librarian Ox. That's her new name.
Yep. Who else? More names. Janelle. Oh, let's dolt.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that was one of the names.
What'd you call me?
Oh, let's dolt.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys so much
Thanks
for
for
chatting. I
being
love
here.
all the conversation.
We really
There's
love
no
having you here.
Hanan. Hanan, where are you?
Yeah, Hanan, we're worried.
Yeah,
Did Hanan not know there was a new episode?
I guess not.
All right. And thank you to everyone who tweets at us and checks in to see if there's a new episode. I appreciate that as well. I use my Twitter. Lauren does not, which is why I say mean things to her on Twitter.
I do too use it. I saw the notification. I just chose not to respond to it.
That's fair. Read us some iTunes reviews,
Okay.
Lauren.
You guys, we have 2 new iTunes reviews, which is so exciting.
Yay!
Okay, the first one is by Galiza1990.
Wow.
And it's titled, "This After Show is Awesome," with 3 exclamation points, 5 stars. And it goes, "Even when the episodes are slow, you guys manage to entertain me with your conversation every time. Love this panel. Heart, clap, perfect, square." I don't know what that one is.
Taco.
Maybe it's the taco.
It's a
Burrito.
taco.
Unicorn. The next one has a few squares. Sorry. Yeah. What? Okay. How come, like, side note, Apple, you give us new emojis, but then all the, like, Apple things can't read them back
You know
to
what?
you.
It's so for Twitter, for example, doesn't have the same emojis that our phones do. So like,
But this is
no, I know.
iTunes.
I'm getting that. I'm just saying, like,
It's the same people.
the different apps are not our phones updated with emojis, and the other apps
Right,
are
they're
going,
like, "Ah, shit."
there are new emojis?
Yeah. No, but this is
So tacos.
an
They're
iPhone.
all tacos.
This is emojis written to iTunes,
but
which
maybe
is Apple.
it's Android reviews. Get
Android,
iPhones,
Android
people.
doesn't have.
Shh.
Anyway,
iTunes,
we're gonna move on
that's
to
a very fair point.
We're going to move on to the next review and stop talking about IT issues.
They're all tacos.
Yeah, all tacos. Or the crab.
Oh, yes.
Okay. "Where are my Qatar SVU lovers, peeps? Heart, 5 stars. By Nadouche of Qatar! Exclamation point. I like it. I
This
like
person's
the
from
enthusiasm.
Qatar?
Yeah.
Hi.
I know. I love it. Lauren's emoji faces. Oh, hi guys. Okay.
Wait,
Someone's they're commenting in the
I
chat.
love your emoji faces.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want you to really...
When I'm typing, you guys, when I'm texting people with emojis, I make the face by myself.
Prove it.
This one, I do this one a lot. Do you know which one that is?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I really like,
is, like,
when
the
you
most
do a
used.
winky face with the tongue out. That's one of
Okay,
my
thanks.
favorites.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to read this review. "Hi, everyone. I love every single one on this panel, and I love your
Aw.
deep and not so deep discussions of the show. Keep it up. I wish I can watch you live on YouTube, but I'm geographically challenged." Cry. One tear. Only 1 tear, but twice. "I even have to watch episodes a whole day later." Gasps in terror. Cry. Love from Qatar to you all and Qatar SVU lovers. And these are for Lauren. Heart eyes. Wink, wink. Square. Police officer. A U. I don't know why sometimes it chooses a square and then sometimes a U. Square, U. Police officer, square. Hey.
Yay! I don't know if you guys know this. I love reading our reviews just because I think it's great when people compliment me, but also I really love seeing Lauren do emojis. That makes me so happy.
Thank you. I have fun because it's like improv, which I actually have never done, but I feel like
It's
I'm
funny
getting a
because
class
I
here.
have done improv, but I don't want to do the emojis.
Oh,
Interesting.
well,
All right, let's talk about
we grow in different ways.
the relationship we all want to talk about.
Right?
Okay, Barisi.
There was a
There was a whole lot of this Carisi Barba ship happening.
yes.
Unbelievable. The show has decided to just go, well, we're doing this now.
But really, do you really think?
Oh, yeah. So earlier on, when he basically reiterated what was said, and Barba goes, "Thank you for explaining that, Detective Carisi." I was like, this is a thing they've talked about in private time, and that's why this is an issue. Sorry, I've also created fan
love
fiction.
how you're like going real far with it. But I just think he thinks Carisi's dumb.
No, because later when they have that huge fight, which I rewatched over and over again, because you could feel the tension between them. I'm making up stuff that is not in the
I
show.
know. And then that one time when he gently grazed his hand and he winked at him.
It's so good. I was watching an old episode the other day, and they're both working on the case together, and they're both sitting in the...
And they like bump each
They
other.
love each other, and then they start to
giggle.
make out. Yeah. You guys miss that?
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Anyway, so we have this moment where Carisi and him are yelling at each other, which is so funny.
My notes say lovers quarrel. in it.
Yeah, because that's
I was like,
what it was.
oh, because I haven't been like jumping on the Barisi train.
How could you not?
Is that sexual?
I would jump on the Barisi train twice.
And and then this episode, I'm like, now it feels interesting.
I'm telling you, I think the writers went, all right, well, this is what they want. So
maybe.
Good. Yeah.
I feel like it's like a weird direction for Carisi to go in. But we've also never seen or heard about him with a girlfriend, right?
Right. There was a girl that that was flirting with him when he was in school still. And then there's all this, people are real into this Rollins, Carisi thing, but they're brother, sister, and I want to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. There's also all of these fans, which are crazy, that are talking about Benson and Barba. And sometimes I see
Barba's gay, you guys.
We don't necessarily actually know that. And people have brought up to us.
Can I roll my eyes bigger?
Could you roll your eyes bigger? Let's see. That was great. People have brought up to us the discussion of when there was the episode that was taking on the Anthony Weiner trial. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you best go and rewatch. Where we met Barba's, I want to call him Barisi, Barba's like childhood friends who was running for mayor, and his other friend. And it was this, anyway, go watch the episode. It was great. But in that episode, there was a discussion about how Barba used to date his friend's wife, and that that there's questions of if his attacking of his friend was because he was in trouble or because he was jealous that he has the woman. And she even asks, "Is this about us?" Does no one? You don't. The point is, everyone keeps reminding us that was something that happened, but he never admits that he still has feeling for her, or he could be bi, or it could be that a lot of gay men dated women in their youth. Like that is a thing that happens. So there's no confirmation in any way of his sexuality. And if we remember, Dr. Wong, it wasn't confirmed until many years later that he was gay, because he once said, "As a gay man, this offends me." Mm-hmm. That was also a great episode. I believe it was actually the episode where the kid comes in and is like, "I think I'm going to hurt my little brother because I have feelings." Oh, was it? And so, because he was talking on a chat group with a man who's teaching people that their feelings are okay, but they can't make actions on them because their feelings are like their sexuality, like they're being gay. And so Dr. Wong says, "As a gay man, this offends me."
I feel like it would be too, wild for Carisi to be, Barba to be bi. Like, he's either gay or straight.
You think this show can't do bi?
I don't know. Not for one of our main characters, no.
I think the show is sometimes real progressive with the story of the week.
Yeah.
And then
not with our
real
characters.
backwards with our characters sometimes. Yeah. I do believe that. But there is, I want to take this to the chat.
Hanan, you made it.
Ugh, where have you been? But I'm taking it to the chat. So Carisi brings up a Delaware case that has to do with white supremacy group that argued the same thing that this support group has argued, that they were a church group or a religious organization in a way that AA is. This is a Delaware case about a white supremacy group. That's all we know. Although we know also that it wasn't, the clergy congregant clause was not accepted. I'm giving it to the chat. Find me this case. Find me if this is real. That's what I want. Well, they do that.
Go for it.
This Barisi moment. I was reading the All Things Law and Order blog.
Thinks Barba could be bi. I mean, I just don't think SVU is going to be that,
You think bi is any different than gay?
Well, yeah.
That's not what I mean. In level of craziness? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think it's more yeah.
You think people are more willing to accept a gay character than a bi character?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, boy.
No, why do you think that? Why do you, what? Defend your statement.
I don't know. I think it's generally more acceptable, I guess, in the broader public
Societal
sense to
sense?
be either gay or straight. Like the more fluidity is a little less
people don't
common,
get that.
so it's a little more confusing. And I feel like for our viewership on SVU, that's like would be a little too weird for a main character.
Interesting.
Not me, like I don't care.
Right.
But like,
just to be clear, we're talking about
like,
society and not us. Yeah.
But I think like thinking about the audience and like SVU being a little, more conservative with our main characters. Like we could get wild with our like storylines, but they all get murdered.
That's a fair point. Those are fair points. While people are looking up this Delaware case, continue to look it up. I want facts. I want to talk about the rape gene.
Yes.
There have been plenty of studies, and SVU has said this for 18 seasons, that the rape gene is not a thing.
Right.
You have a study you want to share, yes? Right?
Not necessarily. No? I have a couple articles that I was looking
at, but
I mean, one of them says like,
corner from
like
Lauren.
It wouldn't be okay because you get genes based on like, evolutionary things that happen. Like these traits develop and like continue to get passed down. So yes, on one hand, like rapists, because they're having maybe more sex than non-rapists or with more people, like could possibly have more children out there. But then this is actually a Refinery 29 article that came out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says the cost of prehistoric rape exceeds the reproductive benefits by more than a factor of 10. This is from the 2009 article, actually. So that makes the likelihood of that rape is an evolved adaptation extremely low. Because if you think about like way back when, like, if you're going to be raping something, like the point of that, like there's got to be some point of that. And
point of what?
Of rape, because it's not, you're not going to like build some like big community off of that by like constantly raping. Like that's not how civilizations are built successfully, And
what?
Right?
That's not how you build a civilization.
No.
Just raping everybody.
So that it has to be such like an outlier activity that it's not happening enough to become a trait that gets passed down. I'm a scientist.
As a doctor. Just a note here, we are not doctors nor scientists, and we are getting our information from the internet.
Refinery 29, which is a lifestyle fashion blog, news outlet. But it's citing like an actual...
Right. So that article also cites a article from 2015 in it earlier on in the... up at the top of the article. And that article discussed that they did some research and it's not a thing. It is not a thing. If your father is a rapist and then also treats you like garbage and teaches you to treat women like garbage, there is a chance there that you will be a rapist like your father. Right? If your father rapes and then teaches you to treat people like garbage, sure, I believe that could happen. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that you got a gene from him. That means that he was a jackass. Has anyone in the chat found this Delaware case that may or may not exist?
No, they're talking about...
Pay attention to me.
Bi and stuff.
All right.
And then how Phoebe on Friends was singing about bisexuals and saying some people think they're just kidding themselves. They're not. You guys in the chat are not doing what you asked at all.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding. I mean, you aren't, but it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, if you watch old Friends, you realize how kind of homophobic it was. And, like, compared to the way we are now. But it was a time. It was a different time. Different times. All right. I think we might need to head into predictions.
And now,
what is that?
Oh, I love these lights.
TV predictions.
What was that?
Oh, I liked it.
Anyone in the booth want to tell me what the hell that was? I'm a real big fan of that sound.
Ooh, and some ding dings.
Yeah, this was great. Next week,
okay.
we have Missy Peregrine. Oh, she
was my gem.
She's so hot. I love her. I've been in love with her since Stick It, the gymnastics movie with Jeff Bridges. Anyway, and Tate Donovan is in it, and you may recognize Will Brill, who was in the OA. If you've seen the OA, he is the one with the dreads.
Oh.
That is Will Brill of Palo Alto.
That was the guy with the mustache?
Yep.
It was so blurry when I was watching it on my laptop.
Yep.
Dreads on OA?
Yeah, in
Is
the...
your little friend?
I went to high school with him. We are good friends.
Oh,
And I am harassing him to come into the studio next week. He doesn't know that I'm announcing it now. He will be here. I've decided.
Everybody tweet him.
I don't know that he uses his Twitter.
That makes two of us.
Get out. All right. Next week, those are the guest stars. It seems we have a rich rapist, I assume played by Tate Donovan, because he looks like a rich rapist. And he is paying a victim off. How much is he paying her?
$5 million. But we don't know if that was a one-time thing or like a year. I'd be very curious.
And the victim is played by Missy Peregrine. She's so hot. And another victim has been found. She deserves justice. Thoughts? Predictions? I predict Barba. I really want him to be bi now just to prove you wrong, but I don't think he is. I think he and Carisi are just gay for each other.
Do you think we're ever going to see anything for like about
Actual?
that or just suggestions?
I think it's just going to be, I think it's just going to tease us in the way that it teased us this week. I think it's absolutely not going to happen. But I also don't think that Carisi and Rollins should happen.
No.
And I would be very upset if it does. Also, Benson and Barba is not okay either.
No. Nobody that's currently on the show should get together.
Except for Barba and Carisi.
I mean, they can like have playful flirting.
Okay.
That's
or playful
confusing that we
sex.
don't know about. But no, we need,
Finn
if
is back
anyone's going to
next
get
week.
into a relationship, it needs to be with a character that is not on the like regular cast.
Oh, so like when Benson dated that Bill Pullman as the reporter, or when she dated Harry Connick Jr., who was the DA for like 2 episodes, or when she dated people we never see.
You're just trying to show off.
Yes. Also, I really like when she was with Cassidy, and I think that they're endgame, and I want Cassidy back.
Ashley, damn, vagina on fleek for $5 million. Oh my gosh. But what like a weird situation. I mean, I guess we don't know exactly what this episode is going to be like.
I cannot wait to discuss this next week.
Hey, so I raped you, or like she knows obviously who it is, I guess,
So
and
I'm
it's
gonna assume
I'm
like
gonna,
he's her boss or something.
right, and he's like, hey, how about I just give you $5 million? I mean, like, don't talk about this ever again.
It's like a
But then like
non-disclosure
maybe I'm also gonna
agreement.
like have sex with you sometimes, other times when I want,
So she's a hooker,
but like a rape hooker.
a raped hooker. We don't know. We haven't seen the episode. I think I predict it's going to be better than this one.
I agree. Well, because we've got 2 big actors.
2 big
in it.
actors and Will Brill.
And Will Brill.
I'm
Yeah,
so
because
excited.
this week there was nobody.
Nick the rapist, the one who raped Jessica. Jessica was the victim. Nick was the rapist. Not Sam the river rapist that we haven't heard about.
The river rapist.
Yeah. Which they never explained why he was the river
like-
rapist. Like all they talked about was how he anyway. Nick is an actor that I've seen before.
Okay.
That was about it.
Thank you.
So yes, big stars this week.
Yeah, so hopefully it's a little juicier. And if we go in a cool direction, like if they present a neat direction, let's like go in a cool direction.
Yeah.
And I'd be
Absolutely.
like, here's a neat way we could take this, but we're gonna go this way.
Or let's talk about case law. No, just me. No. I also predict we will never see the Trump episode. It has been buried. It'll never happen. That's not happening. It's done. It's gone.
I got distracted by a comment.
What was the comment?
Well, I feel like I missed something, but when Ashley said, damn, vagina on fleek for $5 million, Hanan said, what store, Ashley? Because I'm considering it. Like, was that like a really good joke, or did I miss another comment?
I don't know, but that is wonderful. Thank you, everyone who joins us. We love when you have conversations in the chat that we miss completely.
I know, I love it. That was really funny.
It's great. Please rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. But
And
until
she said
next
she
week.
knew about girls selling their virginity online.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. But until next week, Lauren, where can people find you?
Wow. Everywhere online at Lauren Salaun, predominantly Instagram. And that's LAUREN SALAUN.
Because she doesn't use her Twitter
I
anymore.
use it. I see what happens with it.
You just don't go on. Okay. I'm Yael Tygiel. I use my Twitter and my Instagram. I'm not on Snapchat anymore, but I am on Facebook and Insta Stories at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I'm also here on After Shows for Grimm for the final season, Switched at Birth for the final season, Legion. We have one episode left next week, and SVU is back, plus a Gay Weekly Roundtable. Speaking of the gays, that happens just 2 hours before this show on AfterBuzz, so check that out. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Dun dun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.